Hello friends, I am Binoy. Welcome to my YouTube channel Share Tips. Today I am going to recommend a company from banking space, private bank. Before that, I like to talk about a news on the basis of which I am going to recommend this private sector bank. Last month, there comes a news regarding the IPO of NSDL, National Security Depository Limited. They filed a draft red herring prospectus for an IPO in SEBI. This is great news for some banks which have shareholding in the NSDL. You may think, what is the relation between the NSDL IPO and the banks? Certainly there is a relationship. Actually, NSDL is just like CDSL. We all know that. What is CDSL? I had given a detailed video about CDSL 2 months before. From 400 onwards, I am tracking CDSL. My long-term target for CDSL is 1000 rupees. At that time, when I recommended CDSL, when it was staying at 440 levels, and my long-term target is also achieved in the CDSL. And still, I am very much bullish on CDSL, and I had given a detailed video about CDSL 2 months back. I think 2 or 3 videos I had put regarding CDSL. You can go through my videos. So NSDL is also just like CDSL. What is the functioning of NSDL is same as CDSL, that this stores our all shares digitally. Actually, they safeguard our all shares which we bought from the market. A great scope for NSDL and CDSL businesses. So I feel there is a great response for the IPO of NSDL. So let's just come to the bank I am going to talk about, because NSDL, the shareholders who are selling the stakes includes SBI, IDB Bank, Union Bank, HDFC Bank and UTI. Actually, the NSDL is a professionally managed company. It doesn't have a single promoter. But so many banks are shareholders of this company. So actually, this is not an IPO, it is OFS, offer for sale. So when NSDL decided to come with an IPO, these all companies which have the shareholdings in NSDL is decided to sell their shares, offload their shares. So these all companies give permission to offload their shares as a part of OFS. From these banks or these institutions which have shareholding in the IDB Bank, in this NSDL, I'd pick out one share, that is IDB Bank. They have 26.3% stake in the NSDL. It's interesting. And they are also going to offload the shares when the NSDL IPO came. So the companies or banks or institutions which have stake or shareholding in NSDL will certainly benefit from the IPO of NSDL. So when the NSDL IPO is confirmed or come to market, these all shares will benefit and the share price of all the shares will go up. So from these shareholding companies, I pick IDB Bank. IDB Bank is categorized as a private bank by Reserve Bank of India for regulatory purposes, because IDB Bank, LIC has taken 49.24 stake in the company in 2019. Actually, LIC is compelled to take stake in order to help the IDB Bank. IDB Bank is a loss-making company 10 years back. In order to kept it out of wood, they are compelled to take the shares of IDB Bank. In order to help IDB Bank, LIC is actually acquired the hefty percentage of shares from IDB Bank. So LIC now buy 49.24% IDB Bank. After that, for regulatory purposes, RBI make this IDB Bank as a private institutional players. So now in IDB Bank, LIC hold 49.24%, 45.48% with Government of India, and 4.82 with public, and 0.3 with FIS. So two things are going to happen in IDB Bank. First is NSDL IPO came. The IDB Bank will offload a great part of the shares and they will get a great amount from the IPO of NSDL through OFS. Second thing is that government decided to offload the stake in IDB Bank. Government as well as LIC will reduce the stake in IDB Bank through privatization. So privatization news is there and the other news NSDL also there. Two good news are there. So when the share price will come up is the only depends on these news. It will happen, that's sure. But when it will happen, I don't know. But when these two things happen, the share price of IDB Bank will certainly go to 120-130 level, because the government will not sell, I think will not sell the shares below 80 rupees. Because LIC, I think LIC acquired IDB Bank in the range of 70 to 80 rupees. So LIC also don't sell IDB Bank below that 80 rupees. And when the NSDL price also came, these two things will affect IDB, certainly affected. Then why I recommend IDB now is that one more news is there, because if you compare IDB Bank 3 years back or 5 years back with now, it is completely changed. Now it is a profit making company. Last 2 quarters, consistently for last 3-4 quarters, they have shown profit above 1,200 crores. That's why their EPS is grown 53% on a year-on-year basis. So now private IDB Bank is not a loss-making company, it is a profit-making company. So new news is combined. First news, the IPO NSDL, and what's interesting is that IDBI Bank had 5.22 crores, that is 26.2% means 5.22 crores shares of NSDL, and they decided to offload 2.22 crores as part of the OFS. And I personally believe the minimum price of NSDL in the process will be above 500 rupees. So 500 into 2.22 crore shares will come to the balance sheet of IDB Bank. So 3 news, I again telling the IPO of NSDL, a huge amount will come to IDB Bank. Second, privatization of IDB Bank is what certainly happens. It will happen in 2024 financial year itself. Sometimes you may have to wait for 6 months more, but patience will pay. That is shown in my future recommendation also. Jacoma Infrastructure, I recommended the shares at 273 rupees. It comes below to 240 rupees after 7 months. It gives a healthy return of 40%. Now this share is traded above 380 rupees. My target is only 340. So sometimes we have to wait patiently. Then certainly we will get benefit from this investments. So NSDL IPO will be total offer for sale is 5 crore 72 lakh 60,000 shares. And at the same time, my favorite bank, Union Bank, also had some stake in the NSDL. So Union Bank will also get benefit in this NSDL IPO. But Union Bank have only 56.25 lakh shares. It's also a very good share, only 56.25 lakh shares, and Union Bank decided to offload the entire stake, this 56.25 lakh shares, through this OFS of NSDL. So my favorite bank, my second multi-bagger pick, also will benefit from this level. So these all things regarding the IDBI Bank. Net NPA, if we compare the bank, we have to look into the NPA also. Net NPA decreased from 1.25 to 0.44%. So the management is giving an extraordinary result to the shareholders. EPS of 53% year-on-year growth EPS, and FIS slightly increased the stake from 0.27 to 0.3%, because near about 90% is held by LIC and Government of India, and 4.82% with the public. So only small shares is there for the FIOs. So 0.3% with FIO, they slightly increase the stake. That's also a positive point. So for the time being, if we compare the P ratio of the company, it is more than the P ratio of the industrial P, but not a factor. The maximum downside is maybe 50 to 53 levels maximum, because now the bank is changed based on this result. Okay, so you can hold these shares, don't put in stop loss. It's a long-term recommendation. So maximum level you can look for IDB Bank is downside 52 rupees, and when these two newses came into the market, definitely the share price will go to 120 level. So my long-term target for the IDBI Bank is 120, and short-term target is 85 rupees. So as usual, this is my personal view about the company. You please consult your own advisor before taking any position in the company. If anyone is new to my channel, please subscribe my channel. Please forward my videos to friends and relatives. Thank you very much.